Imagine walking down a quiet street only to find yourself face to face with a robbery unfolding in real time, an unexpected twist that pulls at your heart and fills you with dread. What would your reaction be? Fear? Anger? Or perhaps heart-pounding curiosity about how it will all play out? Robberies can often be mundane in news headlines, but what when they take a dark turn filled with shocking revelations that leave investigators scratching their heads? In today's video, we will dive into some of the most astonishing robberies that took investigators and the public alike by surprise, detailing unexpected twists that led to thrilling outcomes and emotional roller coasters. By the end, you'll understand why some heists have become infamous not just for their audacity, but for the jaw-dropping revelations that followed. Stay with us as we unravel these captivating stories. This isn't just about stolen valuables. It's about the human emotions, betrayals, and twists that define each case. Prepare yourself, you are about to gain insights into how the human psyche can both inspire bold actions and lead to sensational downfalls. Let's start with a robbery that happened not so long ago. A family-owned jewelry store in a small town became the stage for what seemed like a standard smash-and-grab operation at first glance. But when the police arrived, they found something entirely unexpected: no broken glass, no frantic thieves rushing out, and no loot in hand. Instead, the surveillance footage revealed a meticulous plan. Every detail was choreographed. This robbery shocked investigators because it demonstrated a level of premeditation they had never encountered in such a quiet community. What could drive someone to plan such a heist in an otherwise peaceful town, you might wonder? The answer, as it turns out, was an inside job. The young employee who had seemed to be the model worker, always smiling, always helpful, was the mastermind behind the entire operation. She had secretly gathered her friends, instructing them on when to strike and how to avoid detection. It's a twist that not only rocks the community but also leaves authorities perplexed. They initially thought it was just a random act of crime. Now they had to reconsider the nature of betrayal under their very noses. And it doesn't stop there. Just when investigators believed they had the full picture, they uncovered shocking information about the employee's motive. Her life was overshadowed by crushing debt, a family health crisis, and a desperate need to escape her stagnant life. This deeper emotional struggle adds layers to the story, transforming it from a mere robbery into a tragic tale of desperation and folly. Now, let's shift gears and talk about a robbery that took place at one of the most famous art galleries in the world. Picture this: an empty gallery on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, renowned paintings hanging on the walls, worth millions, completely vulnerable. As a guard took his break, a band of sophisticated criminals slipped in, armed not just with weapons but with the knowledge of art theft that rivaled museum curators. They didn't just steal, they executed a perfect heist. What emerged from this incident was astonishingly unique. The robbers had been tracking the gallery for months, waiting for the opportune moment. Once they got in, they meticulously selected their targets. A Renaissance masterpiece here, a modernist sculpture there, each piece chosen not only for its value but for its unobtrusive nature, allowing them to blend into the surrounding artwork as they made their escape. You may be thinking, surely a robbery of this scale leaves evidence behind? Well, the shocking twist is that the thieves had an insider, an intern who knew the ins and outs, allowing them to plan the heist with near precision. This revelation turned the investigation on its head, leading detectives to redefine just how much trust should be placed in individuals affiliated with high-stakes institutions. The shocking realization that someone could be so willingly duplicitous shattered their preconceived notions about loyalty and friendship. But here's a twist that you didn't expect. When the police finally caught the infamous gang, they discovered that the stolen artwork had already been sold to private collectors across the world, making it nearly impossible to recover. This led investigators down a rabbit hole of deceit as hidden identities and illegal deals came to light. The allure of art theft was stronger than they had ever realized, expanding into a network of international crime rings. You might be wondering if these heist stories ever come with happy endings. Well, not every robbery concludes with a satisfying resolution, and this next tale highlights that very reality. Picture a bank heist in broad daylight, with robbers bursting through the doors wearing ski masks and holding hostages. As chaos erupted, police arrived in record time. What no one could have predicted was how this robbery would ultimately expose deep-seated issues within the police force itself. The lead investigator started to unravel a shocking network of cover-ups and inner corruption. The robbers, a group of professionals shot for hire, had been contracted by deceptive those within the bank to siphon funds. The heist was not merely about the bank's money, it became a lens through which the community could witness some of the uglier truths about trust, greed, and betrayal that often lie hidden beneath the surface. But let's zoom in on another narrative that remains etched in the annals of heist history. You may know the story of an audacious group of thieves who targeted a high-stakes casino. They donned disguises, acting like high rollers, and manipulated the ambience of luxury to their advantage. They were sophisticated and suave, blending in as wealthy patrons while plotting their audacious theft. But here's something you didn't expect: they left behind a calling card, a single poker chip. Investigators were baffled. Was this a slip of professionalism or a taunt to law enforcement? Over time, this chip would become a symbol of both arrogance and the enigmatic nature of the criminals behind the robbery. What started as a routine job to recover the stolen cash turned into a sensational cold case, capturing the attention of media outlets worldwide. Each passing day deepened the public's curiosity, and mysteries built around the poker chip becoming larger than the crime itself. As police started to dig deeper, the poker chip revelation led them down a path of shadowy underground gangs and high-stakes gambling. They uncovered twisted relationships and illicit trades hidden behind the casino's glitzy exterior. Curiosity surged: was this a simple robbery, or was it a calculated move to ignite a larger war over territory among criminal factions? This complexity escalated the investigation and broadened it far beyond what anyone initially imagined. And if you're wondering what happens when motivations and loyalties intertwine, just look at the next incredible bank robbery, one so fraught with unexpected twists that it left investigators and the public utterly speechless. A series of successful heists in several cities all pointed to a seemingly unrelated group of criminals. But when they caught one of the notorious thieves, the probe took an astonishing turn. The gang was led by an ex-detective. Facing the shocking betrayal of their own, the investigators had to face the uncomfortable truth: this was a man who understood the very fabric of law enforcement, the ins and outs of investigation, the common strategies deployed by police. It brought forth a crisis of faith in the systems they had always trusted. Each revelation provoked themes of morality and duty, leading viewers to reflect on how trust can be braided with deception. You might be asking yourself where the guardrails are in the moral compass of a lawman who turned rogue, and the answer is hardly black and white. Initially framed as a story of redemption turned sour, it soon evolved into an even more layered exploration of what happens when someone decides to walk the line between good and evil. Investigators stumbled upon a web of conspiracies, involving bribery and cover-ups that extended far into the law enforcement community itself, challenging everything they thought they knew about the quest for justice. The patterns emerge: each robbery doesn't exist in isolation. They bleed into one another, defying the notion of simplicity. Every twist in these tales reveals the human condition in all its complexity: greed, ambition, betrayal, desperation. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of all isn't just the audacity of the crimes, but the revealing truth that often the most dangerous criminals are those who wear a badge. In the end, as each story unfurls, the patterns elicit both horror and fascination. Breathtaking heists, shocking betrayals, and unexpected twists force investigators to reevaluate everything they believe about trust, loyalty, and human nature itself. You may feel overwhelmed by this insight, considering what would I do in their shoes, or is anything ever what it seems? However, the journey leads to an inviting conclusion, a reflection on the thin line between order and chaos, between the law and those who seek to manipulate it. You see, These robberies remind us that life, much like the intricate planning behind a heist, is full of surprises, and just when you think you have it all figured out, that's when life throws in an unexpected twist that leaves you shocked and wanting for more. So, before you dismiss these robberies as mere tales of thievery, remember, buried beneath their surfaces are the complexities of human emotion and motivation. We learn, analyze, and are compelled to wonder more about the intersections of life that lead ordinary people down extraordinary paths. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the shocking world of robberies and betrayals. You've not just been a spectator today, but a part of an ongoing dialogue about morality, trust, and the unyielding quest for understanding within the chaotic backdrop of crime. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and always seek the story beneath the surface.